Leftists love illegal immigration so much that they're willing to go to jail for it. Denver Mayor Mike Johnston recently said that he's not afraid to be arrested for protesting Donald Trump's plan for mass deportations, claiming that Trump's plan is illegal. So here to break it down for us is Blaze News national correspondent Julio Rosas. So Julio, what are your thoughts on Mayor Johnston's comments?
Well, I think it's to be expected, right? I mean, this was something that during the campaign when that night at the RNC, when the Trump campaign handed out the mass deportation signs for the audience and they were waving them around, you saw Democrats, you saw the media just being in complete shock of, how could a campaign not only have this on their platform, but be so open about it? And it's because, well, that's what happens when you have a border crisis. You let millions of people in within a couple of years, which gives rise to all these different problems that, financial, the most serious, human trafficking. And then you have all the migrant gangs that are in places like Denver and Colorado. And so and that's why it's very interesting that despite the historic loss that Democrats experienced, earlier this month, they're still going ahead with we're going to continue to go to the mat for these people who shouldn't be here in the first place and have caused major problems for our citizens. And I think that because obviously it's not just the Denver's mayor who has said this, but that's the whole reason why within cities there was that shift towards Trump, because so many people were seeing our elected leaders are giving preference to people who are here illegally or who shouldn't be here. And they're leaving U.S. citizens and taxpayers in second place, and that's not right. So if they want to continue doing this, that's fine, but they're going to continue to do it at their own peril in the next upcoming elections.
Yeah, Julio, let's talk about the peril that they are in another way, because recently the border czar, Tom Homan, right? Can we just call him that? We'll just call him the border czar. You want him on that wall. You need him on that wall. This guy is really making a lot of friends and giving a lot of cheer to people on the right these days. But he just announced states refusing to follow the federal mass deportation plan could lose federal funding. Do you think that that's going to happen? Do you think that these states are going to go toe-to-toe and fight the feds on this?
Well, that's going to be incumbent on the Trump administration, right? I mean, this is something that, again, American voters were very serious on. And I think it's not even just the federal funding, but Tom Homan has said, look, if you don't want to cooperate with us, that's fine. You're stupid for not doing that, but that's fine. But it's another thing to interfere and obstruct our operations, which is what Mike Johnston was kind of hinting to in that interview because he had his initial comment saying we're to deploy the police to the county line. And then he did kind of walk it back a little bit, but not fully. He kind of left it on the table. He also said that we'll mobilize citizens civically and we'll mobilize these organizations to kind of help us in protecting our, residents. And so I would say that when it comes to Tom Homan, because I understand that even some Republicans during the campaign were pessimistic about, well, Trump didn't do it the first term. He didn't really carry it on in his first term. So what's to say that he's going to carry this plan out in his second term? And I can tell you, as someone who knows Tom, he's been chomping at the bit for this for many years now. He's a very serious individual. And, if Democrat leaders and cities want to actually take that extra step and obstruct them, instruct the federal government from doing this, you're doing it, to someone who's Tom Homan. And that's someone that I would take very, very seriously.
Love the insight, Julio Rosas. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Of course. Thanks.
And Matthew, I love what he was saying about Tom Homan, that he's a very serious person when it comes to this. And I also love that outlets like The Hill have to come out and say, oh, most people are actually in favor of the Trump mandate, right? Like there's something to that when you see it out there that you're like, yeah, people voted for this and they actually want it to happen.
It's almost as if they have to remind themselves over and over again, right? Oh yeah, but actually everyone did vote for this. Wait, what? Because we live in a bubble, and they're dead serious. So there's a whole line, right, of legacy media commentary right now that goes something like, "Wait, they really are going to do this, guys. They really might shut down the border. They really might deport people because it's been unthinkable that you could deport anyone for breaking the law in America for a very, very long time, and hopefully that's about to change."
Yeah. Now we just have to see Republicans follow through.